podcasting from Fort Greene Park in Brooklyn, New York. This is the Brooklyn Baritone Podcast. Hey everyone, good morning. Thank you very much for joining me. As you know, I'm always out here early in the morning for you guys on YouTube watching this, or even my website. For you guys in podcast land, well, you can hear the barking of the dogs and the chirping of the birds out here, and it's a very nice day. A lot of people are outside. Anyways, my original intent for this episode was to talk about common sense and compassion. Those are two very strong things. I'm still going to get to that at another date. But as I was thinking, going through my mental notes, I felt more moved to talk about willpower and the lack thereof, and also the abundance thereof. So I'm going to start about a story with the abundance thereof. One of my favorite movies, I know a lot of people like to watch these series too, is Rocky, especially the first two. First 2 or 3 is cool. Where we have these two characters patterned off of Muhammad Ali and one of his other opponents. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but basically the Rocky character was based off of that person, where Apollo Creed was patterned after Muhammad Ali. Well, we all know that Rocky has, a head of stone and a heart of gold. Well, remember the first Rocky, where Apollo Creed, which is basically a far superior boxer, it should be in every means and every right, he's pummeling Rocky, and he just keeps getting up. And there's one part where Apollo Creed thinks he won, and then Rocky just gets back up, and that look of defeat is on Apollo Creed, like, I can't believe this guy just got back up. Well, that is a very good epitome and a good example to use of iron will, of people who just don't want to give up. Well, there's many other examples to use, but I think that one is like one of the best ones to use that most people can actually relate to and actually saw. Now, that all depends on where you are mentally, emotionally, physically too, but it's mainly about the mental thing, and that's where the willpower is, because a lot of people are out here in dire situations and they feel they have no idea, no way to get out of that. And that's all about mental conditioning, because there's a lot of people out here who are mentally broken, who are mentally defunct, not poking fun at them in any way, shape, or form as far as what they're able to do as far as regular daily activities. But what I'm talking about basically is how people are easily programmed, how people are actually easily, you could say, patterned to move a certain way, to live a certain way. Whereas a lot of people are out there that do not have that strong willpower. They don't have the right atmosphere, the right people, the right support system as well to support that. Now, granted, that is something that is inside people. That is something that's inside of you. It could be someone from the lowest of the low on this earth that will have the strongest will out there. Yeah, sure, someone who's at the very top too can have strong willpower. But the more broken a person is, that's either going to depict how much will you have. Sometimes that actually pulls the willpower out of people to change their circumstances. But then a lot of times, it's been proven too, where a lot of people have been in broken and dire circumstances that just totally breaks them. We already know this. We know people, women who've been battered. We know about children who've been abused, who grow to be very broken adults. Yes, we have people who just have to just find out what that mechanism is inside of them and resonate in that, and so they know themselves properly, so they can exceed and they can ascend whatever situation or situations or relationships that they're in. So it's either or with people. The thing is, you have to trigger that is usually something positive in them to say, I gotta change this. There are a lot of people who are here who need that help. We have, individuals that we know historically, a lot of evidence out there of people who have been broken through abuse, but then we also have to take in consideration there are peoples who have been broken by abuse. It's always about a double-edged sword that I talk about with the state of many, you say, colored people of this world based on the slave trade and European colonization of many places, where many people of color are broken. There are people who are strong that refuse to accept how society treats them, to define who they are. But then there are people who just totally accept it. They know that they're in a broken place basically you could say a sunken place from that movie Get Out. And then you have people who are probably stuck in between waiting for a catalyst. So the thing is, you have to realize that there's an issue, but you're gonna have to have that mechanism to go off. I'm having a whole lot of extra help here on this podcast here with these the dogs and their owners. But anyways, going back to willpower, we have to understand that we have to make sure that we are trying to help other people as much as we possibly can to have proper willpower. You know, it's all about free will. It's all about free will and what you resign yourself to. You know, I've been in many positions where I've been in certain jobs where people just, you know, they knew stuff was going on, but how much people are actually willing to make that change, to change the situation, to make sure that at least if anything, you know, they could change whatever that they affect around them. There's some people there who knew things were wrong, but then they just decided to succumb to how things were. And they'll sit there and have a pity party with you and cry in their Kool-Aid, but no one's willing to stand up and make a change. You know, much like Goku from Dragon Ball Z, or even Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, to people who know about anime out there, you know, they will probably tend to go all out and make changes in certain situations when they get annoyed enough. With me, that'll be me. I could see things are bad, but I'm just going to let it rock. But then there's going to be a certain time where I'm just going to be like, listen, that's all I can stand, and I can't stand no more. And I'm going to make some change. I'm going to make some noise. You know, I'm not going to sit here and accept certain things. But everybody is different. Many people have different goals. Many people have different upbringings. Many people have different strengths and weaknesses. But we have to make sure that we are helping people to have a proper will, to live a proper life for themselves and for people around them. It goes hand in hand with how you treat people, how you react to people, what kind of energies you're putting out there. Have to make sure you resonate the proper frequencies to attract people to be the best version of themselves. Make sure you have that willpower in check. Make sure that you're not broken ways, so not supposed to. Sometimes that person that's going to spark change is probably you. So sometimes you may not have to wait for someone else to do it. You got to do it. Do what you can, read whatever books you need to, listen to Brooklyn Baritone podcast as much as you need to, and think positive things and think of what you want to do, think of things that you wanted to do and never did it yet, and think of what you need to get it done. And that's all I got. It's kind of more of a ramble, but anyways, you could always check out my content at www.brooklynbaritone.com. You can also find me on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification. I can also be found on LinkedIn under Corey Ashley. You could also find me on Instagram and Facebook. I'm also on the Google Play Store and the Apple iTunes Play Store. Make sure you guys take care. You will hear from me next week. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this day out in this park with my beautiful canine counterparts out here. Walk good, be blessed, everyone. I'm out.